God for thee.
This CKmusic about Sudan situation. So we're in City Hall. We're gonna make it good, and we're gonna bridge that. We're gonna stop this criminal. Good luck.
Okay, how you start about this program again?
Well, it's just because of the recent developments which are very drastic about the slipping back into the war caused by the continuous bombardment of the south by the north, and then the attacks by the northern forces. That's killing a lot of civilians and calling people insects. This is very insane. It's unacceptable. That's why we condemn that. We don't want that to happen.
Bashir, stop the war!
Bashir, stop the war!
Bashir, stop the war!
Bashir, stop the war!
Bashir is criminal!
Bashir is criminal!
Bashir war criminal!
Bashir war criminal!
Yes, yes, for peace!
Yes, yes, for peace!
No, no, for war!
No, no, for war!
SPLA waye! Sudan waye! Canada waye! Peace waye!
Thank you, guys. I think among us here, we have our MP, Honorable Stephen Woodworth. You see among us, the reason we are here, we are to reject the current bombardment of the South Sudan. The escalation into war, we are here to denounce that. That's why we are here. So let's give a clap to our Honorable Stephen Woodworth. As we know very well, it is just less than 1 year when the Southern Sudan got its independence. And it was applauded by the international community and the whole world. And then while remaining issues are outstanding, like the border demarcation, citizenship, sharing of the revenue, oil revenue, were outstanding. The African Union could not do anything. They could not solve any of these outstanding issues.
Never, we shall never, never
say. We are afraid, despite the fact that the South Sudanese have started building a war-torn country. There has been continuous bombardment and attacks by the Khartoum government, killing of civilians in the south, especially children and women. We condemn that. We don't want that. We don't want the international community to keep quiet and watch what is taking place. We don't want that region to slip back into war. That's why we are here. The CPA has stipulated very clearly, and then has come up with a model, a framework for demarcating and resolving all the outstanding issues. We are asking that the fourth referendum issues has to be addressed immediately.
Never, 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 we shall never, never surrender.
The Addis Ababa negotiation under the auspices of the African Union has completely failed. Even the mediator of the African Union, that's Thabo Mbeki, accepted, and he said he has nothing he can do. So he has admitted a complete failure. As such, knowing very well the price of war that we have paid, even the international community, including Canada, knows how bad it is. We reject going back to war. We reject that. We want peace. So we call appalled the international community, with Canada as a member, which is doing a tremendous job on the ground to intervene and take these issues very seriously. Africa has witnessed a lot of situations of genocide. In Rwanda, before the genocide, human beings are being called cockroaches. The Rwanda genocide happened in the eyes and in the watch of the international community. In Libya, recently, the regime of Muammar Gaddafi called human beings rats. That's why things happen. Civilians, children being killed in Libya. In Sudan today, Omar Bashir, head of a state, calling human beings insects. That's unacceptable. And is planning to do a second Rwanda or genocide. That's rejected. We don't want that, and it should not happen in our watch and in the watch of Canada. That's why we are here today. We stand here to air our voices in condemnation of the situation.
No, no for war.
No, no for war.
Yes, yes for peace.
Yes, yes for peace.
No, no for war.
No, no for war.
Yes, yes for peace.
Yes, yes for peace.
Yes, yes for negotiation.
Yes, yes for negotiation.
Yes, yes for negotiation.
Yes, yes for negotiation.
We want the international community to press at the north to stop the aerial bombardment of the South Sudan and killing of the civilians immediately. We also want immediate resumption of the negotiations, knowing very well that it's only through negotiation, and in the modern world it's the negotiation, not bullets. Immediate resumption of the peace negotiation of Addis Ababa to be aggressively addressed by the international community. The world must stop war now and prevent any bloodshed in the two states, especially in the South Sudan. Make sure that the borders between the South and the North Sudan are absolutely demarcated as stipulated in the CPA document, where the 1956 borders are very clear and known even to all of our artists. We also ask the safe return of the South Sudanese who are stuck in Khartoum, who are desperately waiting they want to go back. Because of the closure of the borders, they could not make it to the south.
I meant to begin my remarks by saying Assalamu alaikum. That is my wish for you, and it is my wish for South Sudan. Assalamu alaikum. Peace is what we all wish. So I am very much in tune with what you heard today. And as you know, since I have been elected as Member of Parliament, I have gained many friends in the Canadian South Sudanese community. And it just pleases me so much that the Canadian South Sudanese community stands together with Canada and with others for peaceful resolution of disputes. You know, South Sudan in many ways has endured very unfortunate circumstances. And South Sudan is in the middle of constructing a new society. And it requires work. and the South Sudanese people are ready to work. There are Canadian South Sudanese people who are returning in person and with financial assistance and with time and effort in order to build a new society and a new country in South Sudan, to feed people, to educate people, to build homes and institutions, to build a democratic government and a functioning judicial system. So it's very tragic that in the middle of that work, the South Sudanese people must now contend with more attacks from the north. Now, I've been so busy lately I haven't kept up that much with the news, but I believe in the last 24 hours I heard a report that the North had stated that they would suspend the aerial attacks. Now, I hope I saw that correctly. And if I saw that correctly, I hope that unlike other promises that are sometimes made, that promise is respected. Now, as you know, my motto, my slogan is that I am your voice in Ottawa. Not only for those people who live in my riding, but certainly for the many friends that I have made in the South Sudanese community. So I know that this message, when I bring it forward to Prime Minister Harper and when I bring it forward to John Baird, our Minister for Foreign Affairs, I know that they share that same aspiration. And I know that already they have been working with others to pressure the North to stop its bombardment and to return to negotiations just as you wish. And so I know that they will receive this message with welcome, and that they will renew their efforts to accomplish this goal. I want to remind you, and I'm sorry that as a member of Parliament, I have so often had to repeat these words to my constituents, and maybe after a while you'll get tired of hearing them, but I never tire of hearing them, because it is really, these words I'm going to give you again are words of hope. And there is actually no better time for hope than when things seem most hopeless. When things are going well, we don't need hope so much. It is when we are in the midst of adversity, as South Sudan now is, that we most need the inspiration of hope. So I want to remind you of the words of hope that were given to us by a very great man, Mahatma Gandhi. And I know I can never do them justice. I probably am only able to paraphrase it. But Mahatma Gandhi observed that murderers and dictators and tyrants will always arise in history, but they will pass away. Truth and love will endure forever. So I want you to keep those words in your heart and remember them not only as words of hope, but also as the blueprint for South Sudan as it goes forward, whatever provocation it may face and whatever tragedy it may endure, to always, always respect truth and love. And in that way, you will always be an ally with Canada for freedom and justice and peace. So I'm very happy to take this message forward, and I want to thank all of you for coming out today to reinforce this message with your fellow Canadians. Thank you. Assalamu alaikum.
Appreciate appreciate that you bring any war situation. If there is a mistake from one side of the government, you always involve and you try to fix it in a way that all Southern and Sudan will be going in a good way. So what I would like to government of Canada.
Well, over the last several years since I've been a member of Parliament, I have met frequently with members from the South Sudanese community. I've met with people from all over South Sudan, the Nur and the Dinka, and I've met with people from the Nuba Mountain area. And so I have been very well informed about the events in South Sudan, and each time I receive information, I send it to our Minister of Foreign Affairs so that he will be informed. Canada does never operate on its own. Canada always operates with other allies, and so we try to influence our friends to become involved when there is injustice in the world, so that the areas, the countries which are carrying out wrong conduct will feel greater pressure. And I know this is what we are doing now in Sudan, and I will make certain that the government of Canada knows how urgent that is.
So because this process already of keeping peace between Sudan and North Sudan, probably the government is already working on it. So for you to deliver the message, it's like we in the state.
Exactly.
The same thing that they are being doing.
That's correct.
They stand.
But also in discussing this matter with our allies, there are different ways that the international community can bring pressure on the North Sudan. And so the allies have to discuss that and make certain that there are consequences for the aerial bombardment, and make certain that the North is aware that this conduct will not be tolerated.
The last report of the UN, that Omar had been mentioned as a criminal and he was under arrest. And how is that deal with the allies to make sure we search a person with the record and he's under warrant still? Is that been pulled away, or you guys do your best just to bring?
No, I don't think anyone is planning to try to invade the North to capture him. And I have myself some element of caution about it, because when we see such conduct, it is sometimes better not to corner a tyrant, not to leave no avenue of escape. If a tyrant believes that there is no choice but to engage in brutal conduct and suppression, that isn't necessarily a good thing. So I hope we have a way to convince him that he can stop this without losing his own life. That is up to a very delicate international negotiation.
Yeah. So thank you very much.
You're very welcome. You keep up the good work.
Okay.
All right.
I think you did a lot of it, and you bring the MP, and he has provided good word for us.
Well, we have very good support.
For your job, what you're doing is, we would like you to mention your name.
My name is Samuel Kim.
So we feel like Omar Bashir is not that responsible in order to bring a word like that.
It's very irresponsible. It's very acceptable. It's very unfortunate that a leader of a state like that just says such inflammatory words.
Yeah.
And then this is a very clear indication, like what happened in Rwanda, people being called cockroaches. Libya, Gaddafi was calling people rats, and then now he's calling the South Sudanese as insects. That's unacceptable. He has been trying to do that long time ago, but it's going to be impossible for him. Well, SUDAN by itself is very potential. It has potential youths, both men and women, who are ready to serve the nation. So we should not be underestimated. We have the potential to go to wherever we want. What destination we want, we are going to shape ourselves.
Okay, thank you very much. mechanic know when I see my city get infected. No education, no medication, no renovation, war taking action. We live in Canada, back home is Africa. You think of Africa, work for Africa. Your grandpa is African, you became African. Try your best if you can, ask your mom where they land. Don't forget Africa, see your mama Africa. Ask about Africa, me, I was born in Africa, I moved to America. Trust me, even if I look like American, the truth in my heart, I would do it in Africa. Life in America, people think they live independent.